good.
Jack's
I
been on
think
fire.
Gav always did that anyway.
Turned you up. Yeah, because you're quiet by nature. You are
And you're naughty by nature.
quiet by nature, my one.
You held that tone very well.
Bro,
I said before, you've missed your calling. You wasted yourself on rugby league. You should have been a singer.
I can sing.
No, he wanted the triple threat.
Hang on, he wasted himself on rugby league.
To say I wasted myself, that's quite harsh. I did
No,
play,
wasted.
but I did play 19 games.
Yeah,
But 19 first grades.
Over 6 years.
No, but what I mean was, I mean, you still have you've still got the ability to form a band and have a music career.
Yeah.
You can sing.
That'd be fun.
And I'll be your backup. Many a tear has fallen.
No,
Baby,
you
You'll
are
be
not.
a woman.
So
Is that Neil Diamond?
Nah.
I don't know.
no, it's
That's
urge
la, la,
overkill.
la, la, la.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Have we
Can we
started
get
yet?
going?
Yeah, we have. We started.
I've got to fix it up.
The longer we talk about this now, the shorter we have to talk about other stuff.
Yeah, but Pulp Fiction, that is urge overkill. Did that? Some of that, mate. That is Is that a question without notice? Possibly the greatest music soundtrack.
Yeah, it's up
a
there.
good
It's a
soundtrack.
good
Pulp
soundtrack.
Fiction. Do you know what else is good?
Jungle Boogie.
The Jungle Book.
You know,
You know what is actually a really good soundtrack, and it's unpopular opinion. You won't like it, Dad.
I do.
High School Musical.
yeah, I don't know about that.
Hooey.
Boogie Nights, Corbo?
Poor Boogie Nights is a beauty.
Is a great
You little
soundtrack.
beauty, Kappa.
Hairspray.
Oh, can we speaking of Kappa, can we talk about Kappa?
Yeah, did you see Kappa got banned from all AFL venues for 5 years?
Why? What did he do?
Apparently last year's Brisbane Lions grand final, he got a little bit intoxicated. I think he was acting up, and then they kicked him out. And apparently on his way out, he was going, "Was in the house."
What was?
It's his
Warwick.
one of his.
Oh,
symbols.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
they
it was
call
Kappa.
him the Whiz.
Yeah.
Kappa.
But pretty harsh. 5 years.
He's
All
a
AFL
legend.
venues, and
It must have been pretty bad, whatever he did.
in the MCG, like you can't go to the cricket
go to
or concerts.
Can't go to Amy Park. That doesn't count. He'll be at the Storm games.
Yeah,
I've seen him in the sheds.
yeah. You were there when he was in there last time.
What was he doing there?
Oh, it's
You can
a
imagine.
speech.
You can imagine.
Bizarro.
When
Gary Ablett was in there.
when Fletcher and I turned up to
With him? In his pocket?
interview him at his neighbourhood, he was standing there. And we jumped out of the car. Hey, Wiz, how you doing? He go, boys, how are you? He had leather pants on, black shirt, necklace, had these like sort of red boots, almost like ankle high basketball shoes. And he goes, just wait here, boys. I'm just going to go for a 15-minute run. And he took off
In his leather pants.
and went on a run with his in his leather pants and came back
Sweated out.
sweating up. And we're like, yeah, right. And he goes, boys, come on, I'll give a tour of the house. Have a guess what it's worth, hey? A lot of money, boys. Took us next door to meet his neighbours, everything.
What suburb in Melbourne does he live in?
Not sure.
What's his exact address, just for
No.
our listeners?
Yeah, he gets handed off to people. That,
Coordinates. That year too, you also did Ross Clark Jones. Who was madder? Ross Clark Jones or Warwick Capper?
He's a lovely fella.
Ross is just got big kahunas. So it like people say, oh, look at Ross.
very lovable.
Like he's not. It's just because, mate, it's like he hasn't got the fear gene. Doesn't sit there where Kappa's mad.
Now, what ethnicity, past ethnicity does Rock have?
His mum was from Borneo, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. His
Don't
dad was.
fear the reaper, honey, I'm your man.
Shout out to
What is Cooper's
speaking of a
go?
bunch of surfers too. Coop, the Mick Fanning golf contest was on last week.
Yeah.
We missed it.
We did,
but it looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we couldn't go this year,
I didn't get
unfortunately.
my invite.
But no, they haven't. You know what? Mick did say to me last year, "Oh, bring your old man up." And then when they contact me this year to get us back up again, no mention of you. So I didn't push. I didn't want to seal me and Jack's fate. But unfortunately, we had something on. We couldn't go. But
No problem,
It looked
Mick.
very fun.
No worries, Mick. Other things to do anyway, mate.
Don't worry.
Well, you do have a radio show on a Friday morning, mate.
Yeah, you do. But you can do it from up there. I was going to do radio from up there.
Good
Tell you
call.
what,
Yeah,
next-
but he does it till midday.
Yeah, don't fear the or you can get someone else to do it. I mean, it's not called Morning Glory with Matty Johns, is it?
Hang on, I came up with that name.
Yes, it is.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah.
it is called.
Yeah.
So they can't replace it.
No, they can't. Well, it's just cool, different name. Benny Hogarth can fill in, or Denon,
And what
Webby.
would they call it? What would they rename it?
I don't know,
But-
it's up to them. I won't be there.
Morning sleeping.
But you can imagine ratings you're not on.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Plummeting.
I've listened to the show. You hold that show together.
Oh,
I don't know. I reckon Dave Riccio. It could be mornings with Dave Riccio. He could probably just
You
do
were
it.
on it the other week.
Yeah, I was on it. Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
very good feedback about
Yeah, it was
actually.
good. It was my first appearance in a while. I come out of the woodwork every now and then.
Yeah,
so-
it was a very Italian theme. You and Riccio on there?
Yeah, yeah. You really need to get Riccio his own sting, because every time you go on, because he fills in for Webby every now and then, and he comes on, has a segment, Ricchio's rant, and you never give him a sting, and you always talk about
Yeah.
So Sting's an intro to people. So
which I know a lot about.
Jack literally learnt what at the term sting 2 weeks ago, and now he's saying it like all the
Smashing it.
listeners in the car know. Like, Jack, radio sensibility, you got to explain things for the people.
Yeah.
That's such an in joke.
play on, play off.
Well, Coop was telling me that I need to bring my own sting, so I brought my own sting in, and then for the next week, Cooper reckons, every day I just bring up a sting, talk about stings with him.
It's a
Conversation.
sting.
It was annoying. Intro question, Matthew.
Intro question on Trish come up with this on the back of
Actually, I didn't. It was one of our listeners.
listeners.
I don't remember his name, but thank you.
And they think they're clever doing this. It's not. It's left quite an impact on me. On the back of me sneaking off and being caught playing the poker machines on a romantic weekend away. But see, Trish wrote that romantic weekend away. It wasn't
actually,
about
it
a
was-
romantic
it was
weekend
his-
away.
They were his words,
Yeah,
actually.
well, let me just say, it was not a romantic weekend away.
No, it certainly wasn't, was it, mate?
It was a weekend of fun and frivolity. Unfortunately, Trish just wanted her fun and frivolity. If there was a John's Family themed poker machine, what symbol would trigger the feature?
Could I go first? Because I really like
go on.
mine.
Let's get it out of the way.
You'd have to get how many of these things do you need?
Three vibrators.
Okay, well, I want 3 twerking Reg Regans.
Twerking,
Twerking, like mobile.
in footy shorts.
Yeah.
nice.
He
You
only
know
wears footy shorts.
A Red Dragon theme one actually would be very good. I'd play it.
Yeah.
I'd play it.
But and when you get the feature with you get your 3, he's twerking in your face with his little ass.
When he gets the
cute.
feature, it goes,
Yeah, that'd be good.
Talk to us. Who are the poker machine people?
the aristocrat down the road.
I know, literally.
What?
Hey,
Brookie.
after this, let's hop in the car. Let's get down to aristocrat. Let's throw our cards on the table.
Well, I actually had 3 of this. If 3 of this person showed up, it'd make your day, because this bloke, he is what epitomizes the Johns family. I had 3 Gary Johnses.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think you had 3 Gary Johnses holding a 2 years old up when he's doing it, just about to smash it over the top of his head. If he was a horse breeder, I heard you were saying it the other day, or I think someone was saying it. John Hopewadi, he's produced that many athletes. Like, if he was a horse, you'd be able to
him to
you'd
stud.
breed him, and you'd just breed him until he dropped dead. Gary Johns is the exact same. People don't give Gary the credit for his genes and his sperm.
No.
Look what he did.
Good call.
Matthew, superstar in his own right. Andrew Johns, superstar in his own right. Jack Johns, star in his own right. And then you get to the apex. Myself, I eventually came from Gaz's.
Yeah,
seed.
we all know that the good genes didn't come from Gary. From the way Nan's kicking on, it definitely come from Gail.
I think she offers a lot, Gail.
She's in great nick.
No, she's no athlete though.
And sister Kate, she was a hell of a netball player. She was a representative standard netball player.
I think she was also captain of the Cessnock Goannas girls team as well.
And-
She broke some bits.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
She broke some bits.
She doesn't like to grog
Fingers,
too much,
hands,
you know?
knees, I don't know.
But
legs.
who were we talking about just for 1 second? You touched on Gaz and
2 years old.
no, to his old. Keep going. It was like a family thing there for a second. No,
Hopewadi?
no, the good genes come from my grandmother on my dad's side. Yeah.
She was a
She
there's
was-
a park named after her, doesn't
Yes,
she?
she has a park in a football field in up at Curricane named after her, Johns Park. And so she was a champion tennis player, champion netballer. And you go past the netball courts and there is Molly something courts, and that was her cousin.
Oh, no
So
way.
yeah. So she was a very, very good sportswoman.
Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
my poker machine symbol.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I had 2 here for you. I had 3 Stephen the Man-Child to trigger a feature.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, of course, that's Dad's character from his Channel 7 show.
Did you know Lehigh was in that?
Yeah, Levi,
Yeah.
because John was playing for me. He's in the Manly coach.
Because I was in. So if you've never seen the skit where Stephen the
I
Man-Child,
don't think I've seen it.
I will get it up on YouTube afterwards. But Dad plays against Hopper. It's like when 2 man-childs meet, and Lehigh was in the side that Hopper was in, Manly Cove, and I was in the Hardwood side that you were in. So like 4 very good athletes out on that field. That's what I'm trying to say.
Amazing.
My favourite bit of the clip where the Skippy pilot, just from Skippy, but Tony
the
Bonner,
helicopter.
Tony Bonner, who's Stephen the Man-Child's father. Stephen looks over and sees Hopper shaving, and he just goes to scarpers up a tree. He goes, Stephen, get down here.
Yeah. But I tell you what, it is a very accurate representation of junior footy because I tell you right, people look at it and go, "Oh, this is unrealistic." It's not. You get a big kid in a team who never plays against another big kid. They run through the team. They finally come up against another big kid who might be a little bit tougher, and the equally as big kid goes to water.
Yes.
I've seen that many a time.
And generally, they've got a father with little man syndrome that's into them too.
Yeah, and let me tell you, it's a great lesson for the kids because the thing I always thought was they can't run without legs. So when you come up against a bigger defender, you go low and tackle. I don't know why people don't say that more.
Why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
Because it infers that you want to like take their legs out and potentially hurt them. I think
the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Do you jot that one down?
Any more
Let
cliches?
me write that one.
That's a few.
What else you got?
My poker machine, the feature's going to be me facing a wall in handcuffs and Trish with a whip just whipping him in the back.
I had a better. I thought that was going somewhere else then.
Wow.
Oh, the old finger in the date.
Sticky date pudding.
Oh, God.
Should we share?
I just burped.
You're right there.
Are you serious?
I'm so sorry. That was so rude of me.
That's disgusting.
But these mics, they don't have like you can't
mute.
turn. You know what I mean?
Like
Usually
a mute
there's
button.
in the radio or
Jack's
TV.
gonna have to
There's a
edit
button.
that.
There's a button. No, he doesn't have to edit it. Leave it.
Oh, it's disgusting. No, must be beeped.
No, it won't be. What, beeping a burp?
Yeah.
Is that where we're
Come
at
on,
now?
Trish.
Yeah, no, it's disgusting. Some people actually would be really highly repulsed by that,
listen
almost
to-
to the point of vomit.
Listen to
I
Chairman-
have a friend who cannot bear, and it is actually a condition, and about 4 members of her family have it. She can't bear to hear people eating, chewing.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, no, it's actually a condition.
Who is that?
Beck.
No way.
Beck? Well, what's the matter with that imbecile?
Oh, no, but a couple of the other kids have it too, and I think it's only like her son has it, she has it, but her husband doesn't have it. So and one of the other kids
It doesn't matter. But rebuttal wise, can I make a rebuttal?
Sure.
Do you think MasterChef would beep every time Gordon Ramsay goes to taste food just because Beck doesn't like hearing the sound of her chewing?
No,
well, if
because
I'm allowed to
it's a
beep,
show about food. This isn't a show about food or burping, Cooper,
burping's
or
so
other
natural.
bodily functions.
It's an Trish, burping is like opinions. Everyone offers one occasionally.
Yes.
Right? It's
like if you farted, would you be thinking that's acceptable too?
yeah, wouldn't worry me.
well, I wouldn't
I'd have
ask
no
for it
problem.
to be beep. Imagine people randomly listen to this and then you hear beep and then you say, "Oh, you just burped." Like that's just ridiculous.
Okay, question without notice again.
Yours was a
Just pulling
performance.
back the curtain on the family. Whose farts stink the most in this house?
Jack.
Yeah, I would say Jack.
Okay,
And he's
right.
not even denying it, Flesh. He knows.
Yeah, Jack's
Yeah.
a stinky boy.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Well, he's bigger than all of us, you know.
Yeah, I'm bigger.
No, but it's like
Stronger.
I
And he
don't know.
eats small.
I don't think about that. More
Yeah.
temperamental.
Okay, when you
Hey,
follow
you got some things too on yourself that are a bit bigger as well, Cooper.
Yeah, I do.
Particularly on your face.
when you follow someone
talk about
into the toilet, who's the worst person to follow in? In cricket, you don't want to follow Bradman in. Who is the Bradman in this family? When they've been using the toilet and you're next in, I know who it is.
It's you.
It's the Queen over there.
Yeah. There it is, Queen Bee.
Hang on,
There
I
it
go to the
is.
toilet. I have positioned very carefully right in front of the toilet seat
Horrendous.
incense. So as soon as I go to sit down, I'm lighting incense.
I haven't had
And I even
incest since I left Cessna.
Incense.
Oh, okay.
And I have the drops that you pour into the toilet
Yeah, well,
bowl
why don't
after
you
you've
use them?
flushed.
Why don't you use
Because
them?
I've got incense burning. I don't need to use the
Oh,
drops.
let me tell you, Trish, you do.
Yeah.
Honestly, my eyes water when I go in there after you.
It's like pepper spray.
You wait when, like, if we ever rebuild or renovate, mate, separate
happening.
toilets.
Rebuild the marriage or
Oh, mate,
rebuild the house?
please.
What are you talking about?
Rebuild the family.
Actually, a bit of it fell off the other day. I have a question on what you were discussing before in genetics, like physical genetics. How much in being a highly successful sportsman do you think is psychology and psychology? Sorry, your mental attitude versus the physical.
I'm a massive believer on like 80% mental, 20% physical.
I do too.
I always would have rather had been mentally focused and on for a game than being overly fit.
You need a base of physicality.
Yeah, and knowledge and skill.
But then what happens is, if you've got the right mental attitude, you'll get the right physicality because you'll train hard and get that right. You can't do it the other way. You can be. We see in the game, you see these amazing physical specimens that haven't got the right mental attitude, and they just drop by the wayside.
I'd say a lot of it too goes to longevity too. Like longevity, like I'd say not necessarily longevity as in like career-wise, but I'd say longevity in terms of your health as an athlete. Like Beaver, for example, someone who, he could have easily had a shorter career, but because he had that on top of it, he had that great genetic base, his career just went, like, how many games did he end up playing? Like 450 all up across, the NRL.
No,
Cameron Smith would be, I'd say.
I think Cameron.
But there'd be some in the UK. Like, who's the winger that who's just retiring at the end of this year?
Oh, Ryan Hall.
Ryan Hall. What's he at? He's at like 500 or something.
But then back in the day, there were guys who, this name means nothing to you, but he was an iconic figure through the 50s into the 60s, 70s with St. George, a fella called Harry Bath. Harry Bath, say, played something like 600-something games.
So what age would he have started, Matt? Did he start particularly early or did he finish particularly late?
Back in those days, because he played a lot of his football in England. What you see in England, Trish, in England, they play a lot more games. Because back in the day, it was winter sport and it was a dirtier game, but it wasn't as fast. I don't know, like
it's not as demanding on the muscles, right?
Yeah. Not as demanding on the muscles.
It was physical, but it wasn't as demanding on your hamstrings and things like that, where you have to be. Yeah, you have to get load into those muscles,
like soccer, like even in Premier League soccer, where it's at an elite level. But you see players go deeper into their 30s because of the fact that you don't. On top of that, you don't have to have. People aren't trying to bash you for one.
Yes,
but also. Like it relies more on cardio fitness compared to anaerobic.
Well, that's interesting, Jack. Chris Anderson, who of course coached Australia, State of Origin, and Storm, won grand finals with the Bulldogs. When he was captain coach over there with Halifax, and when he first got there, he was struggling for success. He said what they were doing, they're trying to play in Australian style. They were getting deep and running onto the ball, and he noticed all the top teams over there were playing really flat, basic football, and he realised it had to do with the conditions. So he totally changed and went to that more simple, and he said it was just less demanding on his players, hence why he could play longer.
Can I just ask?
Go
on that note, you just brought up soccer. Did anyone watch the FIFA club?
Oh, I watched Messi. I watched it when he played the Egyptian side.
Because how old's Messi?
Yeah, he's old.
Late 30s.
Late 30s. So he's playing for Miami?
Yeah, Miami.
Into Miami.
Yeah.
Which is owned by Beckham and another consortium. Yeah, a few other guys. Yeah. So, the tournament, it was, when it was sold, the tournament or announced, everyone went, wow, this is going to be exciting. But so now it's on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
And you see it. Some of the games are actually pretty good quality. Although the other day, there was Auckland City played one of the greatest sides in Europe, Bayern Munich.
And what was the score?
10-0.
Oh, Bayern Munich are gun. They got that much cash.
Well, you know what? That's not a bad score, really.
No.
All things considered.
That's pretty bad for soccer. That's pretty bad. Hey, can I talk about some stuff from the week?
Yeah, go on.
Because I want to shout out the community up in Darwin. I was up in Darwin last week. Jeez, it was good. It's a good joint to go. I don't know if anyone...
Is that your first time?
First time in Darwin.
I've never been.
Great town.
Yeah, very... thick in a lot of foreigners. So a lot of people, they might not know this, when they come out for visas, they have to do 6 months in a rural town, a regional town. Oh. So they put them all in Darwin. So there's heaps of Irish and whatnot.
Is that right?
Yeah, heaps of Irish, heaps of, met a lot of Nepalese.
Yeah,
a lot of Nepalese.
Is that for the agricultural component of their visa that they have to do?
They have to do 6 months working in a regional town. I think
in a regional town or city.
Yeah, because it boosts the economy in the regional town. I think they need work. But there's an Irish pub there called Shenanigans.
Of course.
And Shenanigans by name, Shenanigans by nature. Let me tell you something. Karaoke on a Monday night at Shenanigans, you are laughing. If anyone ever goes up to Darwin, it's a great place to go, I reckon, for a team trip.
It's interesting.
Matt went on a couple of team trips up.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we went a couple up there. It was awesome. Had a great time.
There's a joint called Crocosaurus Cove as well. It's a zoo, and it's just really only got crocodiles in it. Quite sad. They are massive crocodiles, and I'll tell you right now, scare. Like any thought that you have where you think you might, if you're in the water, you might be able to get away from a crocodile.
Oh no,
those things are dead. Mate, I was looking at it. And it was looking at me, and I just thought, I'm no chance. If I was in the water with a croc...
On land, they're very slow.
Yeah.
In water, they're electric.
I also think they're blind underwater. I believe. I think underwater they only rely on like smell and their senses. But they come up to see. Sensory. So that's why you see they come up and their eyes sort of.
They're a bit like me. They can't open their water in the salt.
Can't open their water in the salt?
Oh, they can't open their eyes in the water.
Eyes in the salt.
Oh, in the salt water. Actually, I can't open my eyes in any water.
You like to eat people as well. So.
Yeah, I like to taste
also,
you.
on another note here, I've just been looking at the numbers. We got 3 listeners in China at the moment. Yeah. So this week we've got 3 listeners in China. And
I think they're visiting.
10 in South Korea as well.
Oh, wow. Yes, wow. South Korea.
Korea's going up. So.
It's becoming quite a tourist destination, South Korea.
Yes, it is.
I've got a few friends who want to go over there because apparently facelifts are really cheap over there and they're really good.
Really?
We had 2 for
really,
one.
really good.
And one more shout out from my week. Bruiser. Now, you might have seen on my my Instagram, I went down and watched some local footy last week. Shout out to Bruiser, front rower for the Avalon Bulldogs, myself and Sammy Verrill's old junior club. What happened just as an innocent video filming backfence Bruiser winding up into the Narrabeen Sharks defence has now, as Bruiser says, I've gone viral.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like an STI. He's like an infection. He's completely viral at the moment. His phone hasn't stopped blowing up. But the response from people getting around the local footy from when I put this video up, crazy. And let me tell you something.
Nice.
Those local footy players, they are tough homebrews.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was half thinking about playing, like
so
jumping
this is
in for a game.
A-grade.
Yeah. But it's like they are that physical. They have no worry about their health or concussions or anything. They throw everything into every tackle.
And also probably a lot of them no coordination, which makes the impact even more dangerous.
But mate, half of them, because I watched them on a Sunday, half of them I saw out the night before until like 4 a.m. And then they get up and they have a 3 o'clock game and they play it. And they're charging into each other.
I got so much admiration for those blokes, particularly because most of them are on building sites working hard.
Yeah.
But some of them are in their mid to late 30s still playing. I remember Jack played with Wheeler.
Yeah, Wheels.
Ryan Wheeler.
Yeah, we played in a Sydney Opens comp and I was 18 and he was the oldest guy on the team. So Wheels was double my age.
Yeah,
so Wheels was 30. He was 36 then. And I used to work at the beach club on a Saturday. And we'd always play Sundays. And he would have the arvo before the game. He would come in Wheels and he'd have 4 Corona buckets by himself.
Buckets?
And then a few more. But yeah, you get
what's in a bucket? 6?
There's 4. 4 in a bucket. He'd have 4 Corona buckets by himself and a couple other beers before he got into the Coronas. And then next day he would play like 2 20-minute stints and just charge off the back fence.
Oh, mate, I used to watch him and they used to bash into him. And he actually, after I remember talking to him one day and I said, Wills, how long do you think you're going to play for? And he said, I don't know. As long as I can walk, I just want to keep playing. I said, really? I said, what he goes, mate, I just love being bashed.
That's
and
crazy.
I thought,
and
my God.
The thing about Wheels is now, so he can't walk anymore.
That's right. That's why he's called Wheels.
Anyone else got anything from their week?
I've got loads, but Matt, just on your Darwin trip, could you please just tell, the boys might not have heard it before, the story about mutiny on the fishing trip on your Darwin trip?
Oh, yeah. We booked, someone decided to book a fishing trip, which everyone thought at the time, someone throws off, hey, boys, when we're up at Darwin, do you want to do a bit of a day of fishing, deep sea fishing? Everyone goes, yeah, great. So we hopped on this boat. And, mate, firstly, all the boys were hungover. As soon as the boat turned on, one of the blokes, Russell Wire, went upstairs on top of the boat and just proceeded to spew for the next 8 hours. We nearly had to... Anyway, the boat just keeps going out and out and out and out before we put the lines in. And we're like, mate, where are we going? Anyway, the captain wasn't talking. He goes, mate, I've got this place I go all the time. After 6 hours... Like at one point, there was a Coast Guard manning for Indonesian fishing boats coming on our water. That's how far we went out. Wow. And we're like, mate, we just said, mate, got to turn this around. And anyway, half the crew on the boat, they wanted to stay out fishing. The other half of us, myself and Joey, we were leading the mutiny to go back. Anyway, so we keep going, mate, turn around. He's going, no, I'm not turning around. I'll pay for it. I'm going to fulfill my... We said, mate, turn around. Basically... 10 hours into it, with poor old Russell Wire upstairs, who was looking by this stage like the Joker. He was that pale and vomiting. We cornered the captain and we said, turn it around. He goes, nah. And we said, listen, brother, we're gonna be straight up with you here. Turn this around, or we're going to throw you in the ocean and we're going to turn it around. He goes, okay, fuck yous, I'm turning it around.
Why wouldn't he? Do you think is it an insult that you wanted to go home?
Because you had blokes like Chief and Sarge, who were the big blokes and the captains, going, no, mate, no, keep going, boys.
No, but didn't Sarge end up with the world's worst case of sunburn?
Yeah, he ended up nearly in hospital with sunburn.
Yeah, it was just a disaster.
I always think to myself, what would you do if you get out there and you just see these pirates approaching? Like,
those pirate movies.
Oh, they're crazy.
Terrify me.
Like, you get like 6 of them on a boat and you just see them approaching with AKs. What do you do?
Well, Jack, what they do now, talking to a young guy, Trish and I were on a boat one day, and there was a young Australian guy who actually, for most of the year, he drives super yachts. Young Australians go over and do that. And all that. And he said,
one of the guys I grew up with, Ollie Bell. Belly's been doing it since we finished school.
Yeah.
He said
he's a captain.
Yeah.
I said, what, like with pirateers, what do they do? And he said, well, they don't just approach the boat. Like, you don't see them coming. He said, what they do in the dark, he said, happens a lot in South America near Brazil. They'll hold like a fishing line, and they'll be about 500 metres across from each other, and they'll hold the fishing line. You hit the front of the fishing line, and, of course, it drags the boats towards. And he said, you don't know until you hear tink, tink on the side, either side of the boat, and that's when you know they've got pirates on board.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's scary.
I watch Wes Anderson's got a movie. It's called The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and it's got Bill Murray in it, and it's got like my favourite ever seen. It's like the most low-key, like, weird movie ever, and then it just takes this turn midway through, and Bill Murray's character, they're on this massive like boat and pirates, and he just loses his shit and just goes on a rampage and kills like 12 pirates. You need to give it a watch. Go on YouTube and have a look if you get the chance. The Life Aquatic Steve Zissou pirate scene is very good.
Is Bill Murray's cameo, guys, in Zombieland one of the greatest cameos of all time?
It is so good.
It's so good.
So funny.
It's the best too, and Woody Harrelson does it so well. He's just so shocked. Yeah. He's like, oh my God.
Fucking Bill Murray, man.
And probably one of the most tragic deaths as well.
Oh, yeah, when it yes. Oh. What else you got, Trish?
Okay, I want to just correct a few things last week. Remember we spoke about being vegan, and I said that maybe you can have fish. I'm totally sorry. Like, the thing is, most of the vegan people I know who call themselves vegan do eat seafood.
Well, they're not vegans.
No, they're actually not. They would be pescatarian, as Cooper pointed out.
They're cheatings. They're cheating vegans.
I said that was pescatarians, right?
Yeah.
They like the notoriety of being vegans, but they're not really vegans.
Vegan, purely just plant-based. So no dairy, no meat, no fish.
I knew that.
Matt, we had some feedback. It's not search and destroy the arms. It's Des and Troy.
Yeah.
Destroy.
The old saying is Des and Troy destroy, but I think Dad made it.
I'll defend you.
No. You say search and destroy.
It's his choosing.
It's my choosing.
What he calls his arms.
Oh, okay.
I think, I usually am happy to throw shit at Cobber here, but if it's your arms,
they
more
are
than
your
welcome.
lovely arms.
My arms are my fists. Yeah. The left hand that jabs, he searches. The right hand that comes over the top is destroy. Search and destroy.
I thought it was the bicep. Sorry, so it was your actual little tiny hands.
The whole pythons.
Oh, okay. I was talking to my girlfriend last night, and she went to her elderly aunt's funeral. And she said there was a woman there that no one knew. She said, but, like, what do you do at a funeral? You can't go and say, oh,
who are you?
Who are you?
Do you know the corpse?
Like, how do you know whoever? Well, by the end of it, after the eulogy and the slideshow, you'd gather enough information to,
understand.
I met her at wherever because she used to play bridge or whatever. So it's quite true, unless it's a private funeral or invitation only like mine will be. Like, anyone can go to a funeral. I remember your mum telling me that there was a woman in Cessnock who used to go to every funeral and she would steal the food, the sandwiches, and put them in a bag at the refreshments after.
Very clever.
Well, I suppose if you didn't want to go and get groceries.
Pretty morally corrupt.
Probably a bit off.
Like, pretty sad that Gail knew who it was, though. Like,
everyone knew.
Obviously, everyone knew. And then you're at your mum's funeral and you look over and she's there. You go, oh, fuck, she's done with it. You just wouldn't put sandwiches out, right?
Yeah. It's like with some people.
Well, if she needs those sandwiches that bad,
there's some people that are rather strange. Some people love tragedy. Like, they just swim. Like, when I've heard stories where people will get there and they're suffering loss, and all of a sudden people will just turn up at the door. They don't really know that well. And, we're just here, do you need it? We'll comfort you. Now, in one sense, and this is a Cessnock thing again. In one sense, you go, oh, that's really nice, because they might want to say, oh, I'd love, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But this person would turn up every time there was a death somewhere. She'd turn up there and go, oh, would you like me to come in and have a conversation? People used to fudge on and go, hang on a second.
Yeah,
this person's getting off
and I
on
wouldn't,
the tragedy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most horrible times of your life, you wouldn't want someone that you don't know very well. I mean, you wouldn't even want some of your closest people around that time.
Can I just say something? If I die, or when I die,
Jesus, yeah.
if Bill Murray knocks on the door and
he's
wants
allowed
to come
in,
he's allowed in.
Okay,
can we? What about Warwick Capper?
Capper can
as long as it's not at an AFL venue.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
go through a list and I'll say yeah or no.
Would you like us to get Capper to run the ceremony? Would that be like?
I'd love that. I'd maybe get my ashes and throw them in the air and him get up and do a Capper.
That's one of those things. I actually reckon if we were there planning Cobber's funeral, we'd have to come up with something a little bit funny that people would go, oh, this is wrong, but we just know that Matthew would have gotten off on it.
He liked it.
If we got someone there like Capper to just do a speech for his and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Okay, run me through a list of some people and I'll say yes or no.
Well, geez, you put us on the spot.
Oh, well, just run
Larry
through some.
Edna.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with Larry being there.
Yeah, he's not.
Hamish and Andy?
No, neither.
Neither of them?
Tom Hardy?
Yeah, Tom Hardy can come.
Well, Tom Hardy's not.
But he'd sneak off and Pork and Trish.
Yeah,
I'd be running off with him.
You know what? I'd let you, as long as you're doing the coffin.
Robert Irwin?
Oh.
Eh? I wouldn't have a problem with Rob. He likes a nice young fella. Yeah. Keep showing him at me.
Maybe Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
I'd love Steven Tyler to be there. Just going to be a big do. I'm really looking forward to it.
Penelope Cruz.
No,
I really like it.
Not a fan. There's something not right about it.
Okay, what about this? The bloke that didn't invite you to his golf day, Mick Fanning.
Sorry, Mick, you did to me. Okay. I'm on Team Shark now.
Shark Park.
Well, you played for the Sharks.
Yeah.
I'll get Jason Stevens. We'll get Jason Stevens.
Shaking with the Stevens. Trish?
Yes.
Is it time for my film, fame, and vinyl?
Go, mate.
Yes.
Right, film, fame, and vinyl today is, if you're listening to the audio, we'll just paint the picture. In the background, Jake just grabbed it there, is the album for the debut album of the Ramones back in the day. Firstly, how big of fans are we of the Ramones?
Not.
Yeah, I'm not massive on them.
I like the Ramones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think their music all sounds the same.
This is the thing, right? This is the thing with you, Matthew. And I love you for it. You got an old taste, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes, it's been 30 to 40 years since they've released anything.
I think they're all dead.
Yeah, the original lineup are.
Yeah.
But they're timeless. And Jack will back this up. Their sound is timeless.
Yeah.
Punk it's just timeless. It keeps coming back again. Yeah. The genre, New York punk, they came out of the Lower East Side, particularly the CBGB club. American punk is very different to UK punk. It's less anger, more beat, that 3-chord blitz. So, formed in 1974.
I prefer the UK punk.
The band were inspired by Paul McCartney, hence D.D. Ramone used to book into hotels as Paul Ramone. So the original lineup, Joey Ramone, Johnny Ramone, D.D. Ramone, and Tommy Ramone.
What are they, brothers or something?
No, they're not.
Weren't.
That's the funny thing.
Did they just find people named Ramone?
No,
I got it here.
they just made it up.
DD's real name was Douglas Glenn Calvin.
Oh, so they just had fake rock star names.
Yeah, so Tommy Ramone, he was Hungarian. He moved to America when he was a kid. Mate, there was a film on him called Rock and Roll High School. In recording the famous album End of the Century, which was produced by the Wall of Sound man Phil Spector of questionable morals.
Yeah. Is he in jail still?
Yeah, I think he is. Johnny missed a chord and Phil Spector walked in the studio, held a gun to his head and kept it there till he nailed the chord.
Are you serious?
Compromising, but he hit the chord. He made the album better.
Oh, my Lord. Is that actually a true story?
Yeah.
Is this their Wikipedia? You ready?
No, it's not. John Lennon actually spoke about it. He fired a gun above John Lennon's head once in a recording. First hit, Blitzkrieg Bop. Sadly, all the original members, as I said before, are dead. But interesting one, Stephen King, the horror writer, mega fan. They recorded and wrote a few songs in his basement. All up the names of the band, okay, over the years. What? So, as I said before, the ones, Joey, Johnny, D.D., Tommy, there was Marky Ramone, Richie Ramone, Elvis Ramone, and C.J. Ramone. Which of those do you think if you were to adopt one of the names,
Probably CJ, because that's my initials.
it is
John.
too.
Yeah,
I'm going Johnny.
not that I don't really care, but
Because he looked cool.
I like DD.
Yeah, do
DD's. I like DD's.
Well, that fits. I like Elvis Ramone.
Oh, well, there you
that's
go.
it. Okay, guys.
Did you think about calling one of the boys Elvis?
Yeah, Jack. Remember there was that
And
TV.
Tiger?
Remember
Thank
that?
God.
No, Jack. Dad was going to call me Tiger.
Oh, you were going to be
Imagine
Tiger.
G'day,
the jokes.
Tiger.
Hello, dogs.
Hello, Tiger.
But Jack, remember there was a TV show with the guy the Australian actor that you quite liked.
The blonde guy.
Can't remember.
No, the other one, dark brunette-headed fella. Doesn't matter. He was in Rocky Horror Picture Show for a stint.
Tell you what, Cobb, I like the mate. Have you seen in the when it comes to CBGB? There's some great stories of the Ramones because they do their own. They run at their own pace, should we say? Like
Yeah.
they don't mind sort of doing their own thing. Like there's a good story where their first 4 songs they wrote were "I don't want to walk around with you, I don't want to be tamed, I don't want to go down to the basement, and I don't want to be learned." And when Hilly Crystal from CBGB sort of suggested maybe write something that you want to do for a change, they come up with the absolute smash banger. Now I want to sniff some glue.
Oh, man.
And I want to be
As sedated.
Yeah.
Very good. They know what they want. Gold,
I know
silver.
what I want.
Yeah, what to move on?
Who else came out of, who were the biggest names that came out of CBGB? Blondie.
Blondie.
The
Yep.
Police.
Did the police?
Yeah.
Yeah, the police come out of there. Talking Heads come out of there.
Talking Heads.
They were found.
Does it still exist?
No,
No.
it doesn't. Blondie and Deborah Harry
Shame.
were found by an Australian guy.
No way.
Mike Chapman found her there, and he went up to her, and she was huge in New York City, but really nowhere else.
Yeah. She's
And
got
he
great
said,
music.
I've got an album for you, which would be eventually one of the greatest albums of all time, Parallel Lines. And she goes, I'm not going to sell out. And he said, that's fine. You just stay who you are. You'll always be big in New York City. You come with me, I'll make you a worldwide hit, which he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay.
We need
gold,
a fancy
silver, gold,
dress.
silver, bronze.
Yeah.
Okay. Bronze, silver, gold. Trish, for you.
Look, I don't like much of their music. The only one I like is I Want to Be Sedated. All the rest you could actually put in a blender. They all sound the same. Mate.
Well, punk music generally sort of.
No, I disagree.
Yeah. Anyway, I Want to Be Sedated as my bronze, Blitzkrieg Bop as my silver, and then gold is Bonzo Goes to Bitburg. I actually do like that song because it's in the School of Rock. So
Yes.
people who like the School of Rock go and listen to it. It'll be quite nostalgic when he's teaching the students how to play, so then they can win him some money to get rent. It was Jack Black movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ramone's a turd. Other than that,
I've gone with bronze Havana Affair, silver Blitzkrieg Bop, and number 1 is I Want to Be Sedated. That's their best.
I've gone Blitzkrieg Bop, bronze, silver Rockaway Beach, and gold Rock and Roll High School.
Oh yeah, true.
And just right, sorry, John.
Oh well, I was going to say to you too. There's also a hit that Bruce Springsteen wrote for the Ramones that Stephen Van Zandt made him refuse to give it to him, which was "Hungry Heart."
Hungry
that
Heart.
was written.
It was. He pushed it across the table, and Stevie Van Zandt looked at the chords and everything, grabbed it, and pulled it back and said, "Oh, it wasn't it? It's another one."
Oh, sorry, wrong one.
I'd love to
That's
see what
not
the
for you.
Ramones did with it. Probably would have done what you did, Trish. Probably try and made it sound like the rest of their songs.
They would have.
3-chord blitz.
Yeah.
Yep.
anyway,
My recommendation before we go, early, if you like the Ramones and you want to hear probably the greatest cover album of all time, there's a cover album called We're a Happy Family, a tribute to the Ramones. The artists covering the songs, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam, Metallica, U2, Kiss, Marilyn Manson, Garbage, Green Day, and so on and so forth.
Awesome.
That, in the history of cover albums, I think that is the greatest lineup.
And if you're the 2 people listening who are interested,
give us a holler.
Guys,
All right,
next
let
week,
me-
can we dress up
No.
as a
Rockstar.
yes?
Yeah,
Sure.
Can we for the podcast?
I'm looking for a reason to wear my new leather
Yeah,
jacket.
great. Okay,
Yeah,
done.
okay, done. All right, let's do a quick Cooper's quiz because
Okay,
we need a little bit of a lift.
Suddenly he's got our he's paying attention.
Yeah, have you been
It's all
paying
about
attention?
him.
It's a show. No, I'm trying to lift up the intensity.
By the way, they're my socks you're wearing.
I don't give a shit. They're Air Jordans. Okay, so we're doing riddles this week. There's 3 riddles. You guys have to try to guess it. I'll give you about 10 seconds to think, and then you got to come
Well,
with your
entertain the people in that
Okay.
meantime.
If this is the first riddle. I make you weak at the worst of all times. I keep you safe. I keep you fine. I make your hands sweat and heart grow cold. I visit the weak, but seldom the bold.
So, what was it last bit? Seldom.
Seldom.
Seldom, sorry. Seldom.
Really?
My handwriting's so shit.
It really is.
I visit the weak, but seldom the bold. What is that? I make you weak at the worst of all times. I keep you safe. I keep you fine. I make your hands sweat and heart grow cold. I visit the weak, but I seldom the
Do we
bold.
write it down, Coop?
Just keep it edged in your memory.
So one more time.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Far out.
It's hard.
I make you weak at the worst of all times. I keep you safe. I keep you fine. I make your hands sweat and heart grow cold. I visit the weak, but seldom the old.
Yeah, I got it.
The bold.
The bold.
Shit. What is it? Trish, you want to have a crack first?
Is it a fever?
I'm not going to say yes or no until I get it round. Jack?
Fear.
Jad?
I'm lost. I'm sorry. I
Just say no answer.
I sweat.
Sweat? What?
Oh, shut up.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear, Jack.
Oh, well done, Jack.
Don't
I
feel
sweat
like
was in
that.
the freaking...
Yeah, I know that. But you wanted an answer. I just gave you something.
Well, I gave you the longest. Okay.
Keep you safe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
All right, second one.
Well done.
Where do you find roads without cars, forests without trees, and cities without horses? I'll give one more
Cities
time.
without horses.
Where do you find roads without cars, forests without trees, and cities without houses? Sorry, mate.
Your handwriting is really bad.
Your fucking handwriting
I'm
must
going
be
to
out
get
of
in
your
one
car.
of those books. There's cursive books.
Roads without cars, forests without trees, and cities without houses. Where do you find those?
Moon.
There's one answer. I'll give you...
And I wouldn't say I'm incorrect.
One more time for me, Bart.
Where do you find roads without cars, forests without trees, and cities without houses? Where would you find that?
Oh,
It's so simple.
Oh,
is it?
yeah, it is when you've got the answer, smart ass.
No, I'm not got no answer.
Roads without cars.
It's like the
An airport?
moon or the Milky Way or something.
A map.
Boo.
We bring the
Boo! That's good.
You son of a bitch.
That's good. It's so simple and elegant, yet it's so hard when you're not in the moment. This is the last one. Jack's on one. So if anyone can get this. Okay, let me just read
These
my
are good.
handwriting again. Jeez, I'm getting old, bro.
Do you need glasses?
I can't read my own handwriting. Okay. What goes up? Goes up, but at the same time goes down. Up towards the sky, down towards the ground. It's present tense and past tense too. Come for a ride, just me and you. Okay, one more time. Goes up, but at the same time goes down. Up towards the sky, down towards the ground. It's present tense and past tense too. Come for a ride, just me and you. What am I?
I'm really slow today, man.
Today?
Jeez.
These are hard.
They're hard, but I didn't make them easy for you.
Okay.
Has anyone got really focused on what goes up at the same time goes down? That might help you.
Goes down, goes up. Oh, gravity.
Does anyone else have an answer? Or are you all silly boys?
You've done it poor today, I reckon, the riddles.
But they're
Is it
good
the sun?
riddles. What, the sun and the moon? That's a pretty good answer. It's not that.
I don't have an answer.
A seesaw.
That's so shit.
Yeah.
And you know why I'm putting so
No more
much
riddles
shit
for
on you? Because I had a quiz today too. The hyphenated quiz. And guess what my quiz questions were?
What?
They were riddles.
Oh, no.
But
Communication people.
they were a lot better riddles than yours.
Jack-
They're like 5-word
Were you going to tell anyone when we do the rundown?
Yeah. Well, do you know the king of riddles is Johnny Elias? You got face to face with Johnny. Johnny will call.
He got me in the car
and he'll
one
go, "G'day, Matthew. How are you?" I say, "Johnny, what's doing, mate? I've got a riddle for you." So he'll just present you the riddle, and then he won't hang up until you do it. So we'll drive one day, Trish and I reckon for an hour in the car. He's going, "Let me just repeat it one more time."
Yeah.
Actually, I'll
A
take
man
one
after
for-
my
Well,
own
riddles are
heart. Loves
frustrating.
games.
I'll offer you something here. How about I come at you with my quiz, and if it's shit, we'll just cut it out. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love
care.
it.
All right. I don't give a
That's
shit.
Because
fair
to be
enough.
honest, his
Sounds
is really
good.
hard.
All right.
Okay.
I got nowhere to be.
Let's put the foot on the accelerator.
Right now, okay. This is called the hyphenated riddle quiz by Jack Johns. I've given you each a name. That name is a hyphenated name that you will have to use to buzz in for your answer. Matthew Johns, you have the hardest one because you're very good at quizzes. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
You have to get through the entire name. Cooper Johns, you are Billy Bob Thornton. Trish Johns, you are Philip Seymour Hoffman. You have to go through the whole name and then I'll choose the person to give the answer.
Okay.
These aren't very hard riddles.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, let's roll.
First one. What has hands but can't clap?
Billy Bob Thornton.
What is it?
A clock.
Cooper Johns. There you go.
Eat shit.
Number 2. Trish, keep score for me, please.
Yeah.
The more you take in, the more you leave behind. What am I?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
We've had this.
The more you take in, is it
The more you take, the more you
steps.
leave. Cooper Johns.
Yeah.
2-0.
I think we've had that one.
Everyone remember their names, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next one. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yes.
A kite?
No.
So
Good answer, though.
So one more time.
Yeah. I speak.
I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?
Air. Oh, sorry. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes?
Air?
No.
I would say come alive with the wind. Speak. Is it lightning?
It's not. It was echo. Okay.
Ah, shit.
Oh,
Next
echo.
one. All right. Last 3 that are quite easy.
Okay.
What has to be broken before you can use it?
Billy Bob Thornton. A horse. Break that thing in.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
Don't forget your name.
Break.
What has to be broken before you can use it?
I'm really bad at riddles.
To be broken before.
Think breakfast.
Oh, Jesus.
That's pretty
Help
broken.
him out
And
there.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
An egg.
Yes, Trish Johns,
Thank
2-1-1. 2-1-0, sorry. Next one. I'm tall when I'm young and I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
Tall when I'm old, short when I'm young.
Think lighting.
Sorry, could you say that again?
I'm tall when I'm young and I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
Tall.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Am I a shadow?
No.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Am I a circuit?
You're not. Colbert, I'm feeling good about you right now. Think lighting.
I'm not.
What did people use before lights?
Candle.
Yes.
Oh, hang on. What's your name?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Okay, 2-1-1.
Last one. All right.
I cut walnuts with my glutes.
Okay. Get your names ready.
Yeah.
What can travel around the world while staying in the same corner?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Travel around the world. Is it the moon?
No, you're out. Someone here could come steal this from Cooper.
Okay, say it again.
What can travel around the world while stay in the same corner?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
The sun.
No. Cobber, you could be in here, mate.
Well, he'd only
He's
be
looking
tying
at
with
the
you.
Glorious comeback.
What can travel around the world while staying in the same corner?
Travel around the world, staying
You said
the same. Around the world while staying in the. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes.
I was just saying aeroplane, but
No, it was a stamp.
oh, okay.
that's the
That's
corner.
pretty good.
That's very
You
good.
have to
Okay, Cooper,
explain
you
to young
won.
people what stamps are.
Yeah, you
No,
got.
no. Oh, you may. Well, then.
You know what I do? You're acting like a real stamp. I lick them.
All right. Cooper
Lick 'em.
Johns, go. You. Well done. Well done.
Hey, you're welcome. Well,
Yep.
I was the Riddle King. Is that us done, by the way?
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
You know what, though? There was a husband who asked his wife, "Why did you marry me?" And she goes, "Oh, because you're really funny." And he said, "Oh, I thought it was because I was good in bed." And she goes, "See, I told you, you're hilarious."
That's all right.
That's all right.
Where do you source?
I didn't read it.
Where do you source these jokes,
Oh,
Trish? By the way.
From places, from people.
Yeah. I'm concerned. Okay, guys, have a good week.
Have a great weekend. Do something fun.
Yeah. Well,
Or don't.
God, I wish you
Or
were saying
just
that
relax.
to me. Yeah.